Hi everybody, my name is Cheri. Welcome to my stamp studio. This is a weird week. Always when we have a holiday, right? Especially when it's on Monday, and then for the whole rest of the week, you're not sure what day of the week it is. And this week, not only do I lose a day because I had a holiday and my husband was home, I did do some work, but no, I can't film and I can't really create because it's hard with them here. I got some cleaning and stuff done. But I'm going out of town with my daughter tomorrow, and then on Thursday I meet with my friends. If you watch us on Facebook, we'll be together on Thursday, so I lose that whole day. And then Friday, my niece is in town, and we're going to her wedding venue because we're about a month out from the wedding, so I have no more work days. So I went to film one more card, and then everything else I do for this week will probably be retreat projects because I got to get those finished up. And I have a stack of stamps I haven't used, but I'm in love with these note cards and envelopes. And so I decided to go ahead and do it because there's still the weekly special. And normally I would have waited a day in between these videos, still the same day I'm filming. But I'm going to post it on Wednesday because they're the weekly special through Wednesday, and then Thursday we'll get new ones. And it also pulls in with my club, so it's another alternate card. So if you guys are in card club, you're getting 2 alternates this week. And the thing I really like about it is it's the box that are part of the weekly special, and it comes with 20 note cards and envelopes. So we do 6 projects in club. That leaves you 14 extra cards. So I'm giving you some photos of some extra cards that I'll make when card club mails out. But if you're unfamiliar with my card club, it's a subscription service. So you sign up with PayPal subscriptions. You don't have to have a PayPal account, but you just sign up with them because they host it for me. And then once a month it bills you. It's kind of like Paper Pumpkin. We do 6 projects, and I'll show you what they're getting this month. And then I pick a set. So this month I picked Ring with Nature, and here's their first project that they're making with the note cards and envelopes and the supplies that they get. So we do 6 projects, 3 designs, 2 of each. So they can do them exactly as is. They can save them for the alternate, or they can save the extras for when we Zoom together. And then I have done their first alternate, which I thought was the only alternate, with True Beauty. So I used on this one the exact same supplies that were this one. So both of these cards are up on my channel, so just go back because they've been in successive order. So I used this for an alternate. So if you don't have Ring of Nature, Ringed by Nature, Ring of whatever it is, and I know you all have some florals, you just need something that is a bold design, and then exact same colors. So I was super lazy because I want to use Fond of Autumn. I've had it for a while and I haven't even used it yet. So today was the first day I used it. And then I thought, well, I'm going to use either watercolor pencils, or I thought about blends. There's several things that you could color with. But then I thought, no, I'm going to make it an alternate. So if you watch those other 2 videos, we're using the same thing, except not even the ribbon. So we're going to use the note cards and the same ink pads. So we're going to add a couple of coloring techniques to it. But it's a really pretty set. I did think at one point about doing this, and I tried to run it through so it wouldn't poke out. It does poke out, is the way it's designed. So I'm not using this die because it didn't fit with my design. And then it comes with, maybe they're in here. They're not all in here. I did also cut out, you can see this cuts out the main design. It has a bunch of sentiments. It's a really pretty font. And I did do these 3. I ended up just using the acorn. So in club this month, you have till September 10th. You have the 10th of every month to get in on that month's club. Or if you're in club, then to tell me if you want the the add-on sets. So this month they're getting a full spool of the frayed ribbon, the full package of the iridescent pearls. Then as a bonus, I saved up this paper that is part of the Ringed with Nature celebration paper. So I hoarded it so I'd be able to give everybody some of that. And then here is this full box, the full package of the note cards and envelopes. So you can see there's 20 of them. So you'll be able to make tons of stuff. And then it has the box in it. So I am quickly going through my little supply, but I've made a bunch. I've messed up some. I'm kind of liberal with them, so I still have this many left. And that doesn't include the one in here. So normally I send them in for Card Club. I send envelopes. This month it's a bonus because they've just come in there. So let's do today's little project. My husband's gonna be home shortly, so I'm trying to go a little fast. So we have this on this card. I'm not going to do anything because once I do it, like you can easily envision stamping the acorn or the leaf, or there's three things, the acorn, the leaf, or the flower. You could stamp any of those there, just like we've done on the other ones, and decorate your envelope. But due to time, I'm not going to do that for you now. So you just take your card, you fold that in half. And then I think with these, it helps to fold them one way and then go back and fold them the other. And then what I did add to this, which is also on sale this week. Now we have this. And so now it will lay a little bit flatter. We need it open. So what I have added, this is on sale, is the craft 6x6 paper. You can see it's not the exact same color of craft as this, but it's the same texture. And it kind of has the same feel to it. So we're going to stamp our sentiment and I guess just the acorn, since that's all I used to stick on here. And I just used memento, so I didn't use memento on your other projects. And this time I'm just going to get the acorn. You can see where I stamped, I had all three of them. But if you were doing a full-size card, use all three, but the note cards are a little bit smaller, obviously note cards, and so it's just too much. You don't need that much. Let's see if I can get this on here. I think we can. So this is the banner that comes with. I did find for the giant stamp, the main image, it really helps to have the foam pad. So you want to pull your foam pad out and use that to stamp on top of. It's just real on the big stamps, especially. It's always better to use the foam pad when you work with photopolymer stamps. I just don't, just purely for the aesthetics when I film. But I do use it a lot because this, then this, and then my table. It's just a lot going on. But if you have one, if you're in club, that's often part of your loyalty gift, is I send you one of those. Not always, because sometimes I'm out. So I'm doing sending many thanks, and you can see it just fits right in there. And then I'll cut those out with the die cuts. Now for this, you can see it's big. I have it on the largest block. It may fit on the one underneath, but this one was laying here because, I use it when I let my glue set. So the trick with this is to kind of swirl it on here and get it all loaded up with ink, and then go back and tap it like if you were stamping it, because it's big and you don't want to miss anywhere. At least it's photopolymer, so it's easy to see if you've missed. And then I'm just going to stick this on here, and I'm going to do it so it goes this way, and this is a different direction than I did last time because I thought I was going to stick all that stuff on there, so I was trying to make it work the way I wanted it to stick. And then it's giant, so just make sure that you press everywhere, and you can see that when you have the foam pad, then it gets all the places. Because photopolymer, here's the one I just used. You can see that layer of foam that is in a red rubber stamp. That is completely missing on the photopolymer. It makes it less expensive. And a lot of times for the ones like the one I just did where I needed to stamp it in the banner, then there's obvious advantages to it. Isn't that pretty? So we have that. That's all the stamping we're going to do. And like I said, you can do your envelope. I'm just not going to. Now we'll move this. And it's so much more pretty for you guys to look at. So another thing I'm going to add is a watercolor pencil, which really needs to be sharpened. But I'm just going to use the white. And you could use all. When I did the card, I just left these not a color. And then when I was finished, I was like, no, they just need a little bit of white. And you can add on watercolor pencils to any order. They're super inexpensive. And all of mine are practically the length that they were when I got them, except for my white. Because on cards like this, even though it's not a watercolor pencil card, I use it. So just add that color in there, and then I will fix that in a second. So same colors. The exact same colors I've used on all three cards. So we're going to start with the petal pink. And you can see on this one, I did add a drop of that because it's a very light color, although you are going to be shocked when you see the color that it comes out on the card. I mean, when it's got an orange brownish tinge to the petal pink, more of an orange, maybe a peach. I'm using my Wink of Stella, which is added. But on here, when you add it to the craft color, it really looks like a beautiful fall leaf because it's got that orange. If you use the Blushing Bride, then it would be just as pretty and it would have a brown tinge because that is a kind of a brown based pink. So if it's you and you're coloring this in, then by all means do all your leaves different. Use as many colors as you can on here. But I'm just showing that you don't have to do that. You can use very few supplies, especially if you're new and you're just starting. And so you're in a club and you're like, I don't have those colors. I want to show you that when you get these, just these few simple colors, that you can use them over and over and over. And you also don't have to use the refill. But the lighter the ink, the more often it does need to be refilled. So I'm a huge proponent of, if you buy the ink, go ahead and buy the refill because you're going to need it. And then when your ink pad starts feeling a little dry, it's there and you're not like, oh, now I have to order it. Oh, I forgot that flower. So you don't have to remember to order it and then wait for it to come in. And then in the meantime, not be able to use that pad. So I've got that. That's all we need for that color. I don't know how I missed this. It's because I've tried to go fast. Because sometimes you never know. I don't know if your husbands are like mine, if he's had a rough day at work and lots of people are on vacation and he's, you know, the boss. So when they're on vacation, then he often has to do stuff. But sometimes when he comes in the door, you never know what's going to come out of his mouth. And I don't want to have to edit anything out. So there we have that. Now let's go to our soft suede. And this one I have just smushed the ink on there. The blushing, oh no, petal pink was the only one that I added the refill to paint with. So the way I did my acorns was I colored the bottoms full strength, and then as my thing ran out, I just added a little bit of color to the tops. So it gives you two colors of brown. Now if you're doing this and you want to bring all your pads over, or you're using blends, blends won't have this pretty sparkle effect. You'd have to add it at the end. Then do two different colors of brown. But look, you don't have to have them, because this gives a great shaded look and the tops are different than the bottom. I have to remember to get this one. And I'm just starting kind of where that shading is on the design and just fill that in. Then we'll grab the stem. Super easy. Now the Poppy Parade. And this, if I hadn't used this color, the card might be a little bland, but this just gives it a beautiful pop of color. So there's these berries on here. And we're just going to color these right in. Now for these, you could also use eggplant. You could use any of the reds, but any of the purples as well. Or if you want a more neutral card, then do a brown. But because we're at any color that you're using on top of this craft ink is going to, it just gives it a little bit more of a different tone, obviously. Because I know you've noticed the difference when you color on vanilla as opposed to white. So it's the same thing here. And then I'm going to just hit these little centerpieces of the flower. And then I'm going to take this off of here before I switch to my green. And real quick, just kind of go around. So this has a tinge bit of red in it if it hasn't been cleaned up. But flowers in nature often have colors mixed in, right? So this just kind of takes away the pencil look. I don't want the flowers to look really different than everything else. They will a little bit. You could also use white colored craft ink. Super easy. So we're almost done. Now we have the Evening Evergreen. And this one is really the most fun to paint with because it's so easy to get a nice shade. So pick up a bunch of ink, start on one side of your leaf and maybe get a couple of them. And then as the paint runs out, just go back and add that. And then you get this really natural, pretty shading without having to do anything. And again, if you want to, go get other greens because there's more than one style of leaf on here. So if I had not been trying to just use these same colors, then I would have gotten more shades. So each of the leaves could be their own shade, but it's very pretty. It's very simple. It's kind of, you know, if you've ever had anything printed, the more colors of ink that you have on something, even things that we buy, like if you buy some pre-printed note cards, sometimes the more colors there are, the more expensive it gets. So this gives it a nice, fun, like print look that we just have the shades of these few colors. All right, so isn't that pretty? And it's so simple. And then there's these little squigglies. There's kind of some of this is going to get covered up. So I'm just going to clean my green brush and it will mostly turn to Stella Sparkles. That way these lines don't just look plain. We're going to take these over and cut those out with their dies. Now let's just take some dimensionals. You can see here's the flower that I didn't use on the last one. I had already stuck a dimensional on it and then I messed trying to get some place to put it on here and there was just really no place for it to fit. I'm gonna leave that open until I have it on. The dimensionals do fit perfect on the back of this, so just add 2. Remember, the note cards and envelopes are on sale through Wednesday night. So if you want to get those, and then check out all of the stuff that we have in the craft line, like the 6x6 paper. Yeah, this is better. Where my other one was, I lose a lot of my design. And then let's just stick this. I don't want to, since I changed it, now I have to think again. I might just stick it there. Or, you know, you could not even use it. Maybe I'll go from 3 to 1 to none. Let's see what we think. Just because you stamp something doesn't mean that you have to use it. You can make another card and just put the banner and put one of these on. That would be super pretty if it's there. That's very similar to where I have my other one. Now you could add the ribbon, how I've been fraying the ribbon. I have half of it laid here. You know, you could pull this off. You could add it underneath there. I just didn't want to detract to that. And because the cards are smaller than a standard size card, we're working with a little less space. So if you're doing this on a big one, the other thing you can do if you buy the note cards and envelopes is nobody says that you have to use them like this. You can cut them in half and have 2 pieces for other cards. So you can still stamp on it and then put it on a bigger background. This would be really pretty mounted on black or the navy or even on the poppy. It would make it really pop. It might make it look a little Christmassy. So add 3 of the pearls, which are part of Club. They're also free this month if you purchase any of the World Card Making Day stamp sets. Now, how beautiful is that? We've used the same thing 3 times now. Here's the other orientation. I like both of them. Actually, maybe I do like that one better. I wanted to see more of my stuff, and on this one, I felt like when I put the thing on, I covered it up. But if you're making these and filling a box, especially if you like to color, you get to make something fun that you enjoy doing. But you can fill that little box that comes with them, and then they'll all be just a little bit different that you stick in there. You could do half of them with the full pattern. You could do some of them and run through the die that pops out that I showed you at the beginning that comes with it, it does fit on the front of this. And you could do some of them with just one of the sentiments and a popped up word. It would make an adorable gift and somebody would really appreciate it. Because when our people don't craft, then they like to get the stuff. So here's this one, same colors of ink. It has the ribbon and then it has the little piece that comes in Card Club, but otherwise it's the same. And then here's the original. Nope, that's the one that my cat knocked. So the poppy flower was sitting here when I filmed and she was on the table and then she walked over and here, I'll show you. So see the poppy flower? It's now trash. But she knocked it over and I hadn't cleaned because I don't clean while I'm filming. So 3 very different cards, all the same supplies. If you have any questions, let me know. You do have to subscribe by the 10th of the month. And make sure you're on my email because then you know about all of the specials that Stampin' Up! Has going on. You know about my thank you specials this month. And you're just always in the know. These don't fold very well for me to sit here for you to look at. There you go. Everybody have a great one. Bye.